Demain, on verra pas.
Getting kids to bed is tough enough under any set of circumstances.
Right, but in this family, there is another issue, and that is that there is one of the children who is diagnosed with autism, and that's going to make things more difficult for the family. But at the same time, they have to confront what any family with young children has to confront, and that is getting these kids to bed.
Daniel, who's 6.5, is in grade 1.
Woof.
Woof.
Cochon.
Cochon. And Michael is 5.5.
Excuse
me. He's diagnosed autistic, severely autistic. That's the first diagnosis. It's severely autistic. So he needs guidance all the time.
Pas moi.
Pour moi, pourquoi faire? Où tu veux aller?
Pas moi.
Où tu veux aller?
Pas moi. Pas moi.
Michael, reste ici, je vais t'apporter du lait. Reste ici un moment. Ok? Michael, écoute papa. Reste ici, je vais t'apporter le lait. Compris? T'as compris?
And bedtime is a fight, a big fight.
He wouldn't go by himself. We have to be with him, especially me. And the big one, the Daniel too, in kind of, I would say like jealousy, you know, and he wants me to go in his bed too. I go back sometimes to my bed, but maybe a couple hours or 3 hours after, if he turn and the phone doesn't feel me, you know, then he will come to our bed.
And he would try to get into bed with you guys.
Oh, yeah,
he jumps.
He jumps. From the door, he'll jump and it's like, what happened? And
we don't know. We are on sleep, really deep sleep, and we found somebody with us, you know. Then sometimes we take him back, and I have to stay with him or my wife, depend, until the morning. But now, this week, he was not bad, but I stay all night with him. At least he doesn't wake up.
If he doesn't have a good night of sleep, he's very nervous. He's what did you say he was? Aggressive. He's aggressive.
And what will they tell you at school?
If he doesn't have a good night, he's gonna he's gonna start pinching the other kids. Yeah. He's gonna push the other kids, and he won't listen to the teacher. So he's gonna want to do whatever she says he's gonna want to do differently because he didn't sleep. Now, if he does have a good night of sleep, then he has a good therapy session in the morning. He has a good therapy session in the afternoon too, if he has a good night of sleep. So the whole day is good. If he sleeps well, he's gonna wake up singing. He loves to sing. And if he slept well, he wake up singing. And he's gonna start talking. He's gonna say, bonjour, maman, in the morning, and a big smile.
It's commonplace to find a lot of families where one of the kids in the family has a diagnosis of autism, for the families to really be ambivalent about rules.
I think parents who have a child with a special need, like in this case, they're just not sure, can I have the same expectations for this child that I'll have for my other children? And in a way, it is the same basic story. You need to have a balance between dependency and autonomy. You want to be parents, you want to protect a child when they need protection, but you have to give the child space and opportunity to also learn on their own, to develop by themselves.
See, often when I'm coming in, what I'm doing is I'm showing the parents that their kids can do it. I mean, you're going to bed, and they do. Parents see that they're competent.
Right, and it's going to be harder here because to some extent you're saying, hey, my child is different. It's not like those other kids. So there's a tendency to overprotect that child. You think you're going to do things for him. And there's also this sense that my poor child, he's so distressed. I really want to comfort him all the time. But what are you going to do? You're just going to, for one thing, you're going to fulfill this expectation that my child can't do things by keeping him from learning how to do things by himself. And on the other hand, you're not teaching him in a way that, hey, he is confident, he can do things on his own. You have to give him the space.
Just get in bed. You're in bed.
Oh, what a big boy you are.
Michael.
Michael.
You're going to have to not only translate the language, but also the ideas in a way that he's going to relate to. So we want to explain to him that, Michael, tonight you're going to sleep all by yourself.
Ce soir, tu vas dormir tout seul dans ton lit. Dodo tout seul, Michael.
Okay, not with your mom and not with your dad.
Pas avec papa et pas avec maman. Tu vas faire dodo tout seul.
Comme
Hein,
papa?
Michael? Michael, regarde maman. Tout seul dans ton lit? Tout seul. Dans le lit. Oui, tout seul dans ton lit. Ok, maintenant tu vas faire dodo. Hein? On va faire dodo. Et cette fois-ci, tu vas faire dodo tout seul.
Bisous.
Bisous. Ok, maman va te faire bisous. Ok, bisous. On éteint la lumière pour dodo? Ok? On va faire dodo.
Milho is going to come in. Daniel's going to start getting ready for bed. Hey, let me switch places.
Should I speak with him?
Yeah, what I'd like you to do is just to explain to him that you're not staying with him tonight.
Hello, Michael.
Actually, but Milho, you know what? Why don't you sit with him on the bed for a little while, and just so he can have some time with you, and then we're gonna say goodnight, and we'll both leave.
Allez, Michael. Allez, ça va bien, Michael? Ça va bien, Michael? Tu vas faire dodo? Tu vas faire bisous, papa? Bisous? Tu vas caresser papa? Caresse papa.
You're staying with him. You can even lay down, and that's okay.
Because
I wouldn't
usually I lay down on this side.
Yeah, I wouldn't lay next to him. I would do more like what you're doing now.
Like that, yeah, okay.
Milho, why don't you come out and join us? Yeah, come.
Daniel's getting ready to put a pillow on his head.
Okay, now wait. Michael is getting right up. Stay in bed. You're in bed. Attaboy. As soon as Milho started to get up, Michael followed you right out, so I grabbed him and brought him right back
You
to
did?
bed. Yeah.
Okay, no, he's coming here.
Okay, buddy boy, it's your turn. You gotta go back to bed.
Oh my goodness.
Daniel, listen, he's gonna be loud for a while. Try as best as you can just to ignore it, okay? Attaboy. In bed. In bed. Attaboy. Good night. See, I'm,
Saying maybe we should cut the timer of the TV a little shorter now.
well, you left it for 10 minutes, I
Did I
think.
put it 10? Oh, so it's gonna go off.
It's gonna go off any second.
Okay. But now Daniel's getting up.
Well, I think he's just a little agitated about
Yeah.
all of this. And Daniel is also used to having you in the bedroom as well.
Yeah. Yeah. But not good for him either.
Okay, now Michael is right on the beat.
Who's gonna grab him? You? All the
I'm
time?
gonna start. I'm gonna start. I'm gonna get a workout tonight. For the time being, what I'm gonna do is just keep returning him to bed. But if he comes just a little bit, I'm gonna go in and just tell him what a good job he's doing.
When the TV will stop, then they
Okay, let me just.
broke his hand.
Practically. It doesn't seem to phase him at all. So, let me just see. Okay, you're being a good boy. Being a good boy, that's it. Okay, staying in bed. Your days of sleeping with your little boy are over. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
I promise.
Okay. Okay. I don't know how heartless this sounds, but Michael has a diagnosis of autism. I don't care. When it comes down to it, bedtime is bedtime.
And as we would do with any child, we want to have a bedtime routine. For about 20 minutes, let's say, before the child is required to be in bed, we want to have a set of activities that we will always do. The child can rely on this time to spend with the parent and know what's going to happen. Stories, snack time, whatever the child chooses to share with the parent. And then once this activity is over, it's time to go to bed. And that should be the same time every night. And what is the child going to do? Calm down, get into bed, and from time to time the parent can go in, check on the child. And we do that to make the child feel secure, that they'll know that even if we're not physically present in the room, we're available. And then the child can internalize this sense of security and begin to give them their own self-comforting.
Non, Michael, va au lit. Non, demain on verra pas.
Hey, buddy, you're being a good boy. You're being a good boy. You're being a good Okay, buddy. Wait, I'll be back. It's okay. Let's move down the hall a little way so we're not so right in their face.
Okay.
Stay in bed, please.
Did you close the door a little bit?
I kept it open just a crack.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it
He's
calm?
okay. He's calm. We might be lucky with your kid. The fact that he's so wired, so wound up, but he's still staying in bed right now is a good sign about his ability to kind of both learn what the rules are, but also that he can control his impulses.
Control his impulse.
Well, his impulse right now is to get up and go see
Does he
what we're
stop
doing.
getting up? He's not getting up anymore?
I was staying in bed. You know what? Why don't you guys go? Michal, go on in and check on him. And
Check on him?
don't have a long conversation. Just tell him he's being a good boy.
You don't want to do it?
No, I don't want to make mistake. I want to ask. Just tell him he's good boy and come.
And then go tell Daniel the same
Oh,
thing.
Daniel.
And then come right out. And we'll take turns now.
C'est bien, Michael. Ok, papa, il va t'embrasser. Non, Michael, va au lit. Non, demain on verra pas.
How were they? Here, come.
With Daniel is okay, and Michael he was quiet. Well, I believe, I'm not sure, if I wouldn't go, he will be better. He will.
You know what we should maybe do is just...
Because when I want, then he will ask me about Barney, or if we don't go, we should maybe stay.
See, that's where I'm saying don't talk to him at all. But if he feels your presence nearby, it's going to make him feel more secure. So maybe what you do is literally just stick your head in and then just come right back out.
How often are we going to do this tomorrow night, let's say?
When he first goes to bed, I would say literally once a minute.
Once a
For
minute?
the first
Hour?
5 minutes. Okay.
Okay.
And then once every 2 minutes, in the next 5 to 10 minutes.
Okay.
This is just a range, okay? Then once every, like, 10 minutes.
Now it's what, 2 minutes now?
Right now, we're doing it probably every couple minutes. Yeah.
Okay, so we can stretch it out?
Well, no. When I first was in there going in and out,
Yeah,
I was doing it every 30 seconds.
I know, but now it's like we're stretching to 2 minutes.
Yeah, a couple minutes.
Right?
Yeah. See, but that's the whole point, is that you very gradually spread it out. So initially, he feels like you're still there with him.
Forgive my crudeness, but everybody is entitled to having a life.
It's sometimes very difficult to balance the needs of that child, which are enormous, and the needs of all the family members. And particularly the couple in a family like this can suffer because you're always thinking about what can I do for the child, and you're not always thinking about each other. The fact that you need time together, you have to get away. You want to keep the romance in your relationship, and yet here you are every night spending time in your child's bed. You really have to balance that.
He developed much more and faster since he's sleeping nights in his own bed by himself.
She's already Daddy's little girl.
Superheroes. Superman, Batman, Spider-Man, my brother.
Heroic children and their families face medical challenges in Life's Little Miracles. Coming up next on Discovery Health Channel. Channel.
Well, now it's a lot better than before. Now at least I sleep a lot, and I'm not nervous anymore. And I do so many things I couldn't do before because I wouldn't sleep. He wouldn't let me to sleep. He used to sleep with me and painting me and sing and put on the TV during the now. At least when he goes on the bed, he sleeps till the morning, till 6:30. Bye. Adieu, man.
It makes a big difference. First of all, because he sleeps all night, so he's more relaxed during the day. He's more prone to learn more things. He developed much more and faster since he's sleeping nights in his own bed by himself.
Yeah.
So now he's like a lot of things. He's saying more words. He's less nervous, so he's more open to learning. And us too. We have more patience because we sleep nights now. We actually sleep nights, both of us. He's very, very excited just before he falls asleep. So like we do leave the TV on for 20 minutes for both of them to calm down and then fall asleep. When TV turns off, they're not supposed to get up. So Daniel doesn't get up anymore, but he used to, come, put the TV on. So, but Mikael, he comes and it's like he wants to start all
Not too long, for 10 minutes. 10 minutes after when the time out.
If
turn off.
if we leave him, if I'm not firm, or him, or me, he's gonna run for a long time.
So you gotta be firm with him.
Yeah, I have to turn off all the lights, close the door now, and say, you do not open this door and you stay in bed. And it's gonna take less than 10 minutes, I'll say. 7 minutes and drops. Bonne nuit. Bonne nuit, Mikael.
Mama.
Wait.
At least we laugh, we smile. Before it was very hard.
And when you relax more, you have more time to play with the kids. If not, you're always screaming and you're nervous because you didn't sleep at night or stuff like that. And you know what's coming at night. So all day, like, you're hoping it's not going to happen, but you know it is.
Before I could never see TV, really. I never couldn't see even the news. Now at least I see news and I have some time. Sometimes I read.
And we know what's going on now.
Really, I was.
We lost 5 years, now we're coming back to the world.
All right, let's review a few rules here. For starters, bedtime, you've got to have a routine.
Right, it's really important that there's this transition time in the day from the active day to the quiet night. And what parents should do with their children is have a set of activities that they do every night, things the child chooses, hot chocolate, bedtime routines like stories, songs, time to spend together. And after that, it's over and the child is required to be in their room.
Once it's bedtime and the kids have to stay in their room, they have to stay in their room.
And even if they want to come out and cry and scream, we can take one of two approaches. The heavy-handed approach would be, stay in your room, I close the door, and I block out the crying. Or the other one is, if you're not comfortable with that, then bring the child back. But the important thing is, be consistent.
As the kids are falling asleep, when they're first required to stay in their room, let them feel your presence. Be nearby.
Right, we don't have to be physically present in their room, and we don't want to be, but if we're outside the door and we let the child know that we really are there, and perhaps from time to time come in and check, they will feel more secure, and then eventually can start doing some self-comforting.
A diagnosis of autism or not, the rules around bedtime are the same. Kids are required to go to bed.
It's the same balance that a child needs between being dependent when it's required and being allowed to show some autonomy. And for any child, it's important that they do learn that there is a separation time when I'm somewhat on my own, even though mom and dad will be there for me if I need them.
Couples have got to spend their nights together. You know, we're all entitled to our own lives.
You know, couples who have a child with developmental problems are particularly at risk for problems between themselves. So they really have to take the time to go out together, have a little romance in their relationship, and certainly not spend every night sleeping with their child in their bed. Because if the family breaks apart, if there's no cohesion, then this is really detrimental for these kids. They need to have a stable family life.